My name's Paul Cott. I'm the owner here at BlissBound Hound. And as a company, we're really focused on providing positive reinforcement and kennel-free dog care services. So we provide wraparound services, we provide grooming, we do field services, which include walks, romps, things like that, training services, and wellness vet care. I have always done dog training for a few decades, and that became just kind of a primary for me over time. And when I started BlissBound Hound, the goal really here was to bring a lot of the methodology from the world of training and animal behavior into these other vertical markets of dog care that really haven't changed for decades. In the case of grooming, for example, I mean, a lot of the practices for most sort of traditional grooming shops haven't changed since the 50s. And our information, our knowledge of the animals that live in our houses and stuff like that, even our relationship with those animals has changed dramatically in that time period. It's a continual frustration when you feel that you're working at cross purposes with other dog care providers out there, trying to fix problems that are being caused by industry practices that are really just driven by profit models. They're not driven by any sort of like logical, holistic thinking about what the practices are doing or what the long-term goals are. So that was really the driving principle, was to try to resolve that stuff. And in doing that, it really became necessary to think about offering kind of wraparound services so that we could in-house sort of address some of these issues. Dogs are great emotional support animals. There was a huge spike in the rate of adoption and increase in dog ownership through the pandemic. So, and that's helpful for people, for our psychological health. But what we're seeing a lot of now is that during that pandemic period, dogs who were adopted when they were young, who were going through periods of important social development, 0 to 16 weeks being a big one, adolescence between 7 and 10 months, when dogs really learn how to interact with each other and learn how to interact with other dogs, many dogs weren't able to do that. And that means that there's behavioral impact. So we are seeing an increase in anxiety disorders, reactive behavior, things like that among dog populations. And that is stuff that we can help with. I've lived here since the mid-90s. When I first moved here, I think my rent was $300 and now it's $3,000. So it's like, the changes are dramatic here in terms of like how the cost of living increases. I think in a lot of ways, one of the things that's really just misunderstood about the city of Oakland in general, just across the board, is the depth of community here. As a business owner, my feeling about what our responsibility is to remain true to Oakland's spirit and culture. We want to be able to provide price structures that are fair, that are accessible to everybody. We want to be able to serve the whole community of Oakland, and we want our business, when people walk in here, to really reflect what we think Oakland should be.